Hi guys, welcome back to the Food Therapy Kitchen. My name is Terry of Terry's Food Therapy, and today I'm sharing my callaloo recipe with you. Callaloo is definitely one of the rare dishes in Trinidad and Tobago. Basically, you take all this good stuff that I have here: coconut milk, dasheen bush, pimentos, pumpkin, carrots, onions, all the good stuff. You put it all together with the coconut milk, steam it down until you get a super delicious and nutritious side dish. So I show you how I make it. Let's get it. So we starting off with the most important ingredient, which is the dasheen bush. And there's one important factor that I like to note when it comes to dasheen bush. When the dasheen bush is relatively what my mother would refer to as the young, it will normally be curled in like this, and the leaves will be a lot more tender. So she would look for more young bush, as she would call it, so that it will cook down faster and it will be easier to break up as we blend it or swizzle it. Basically, I do this, which is to pull off the tip of the dasheen bush. Rumor has it that it was supposed to help with itching. It really does nothing, but tradition, some of it dies hard, so I still remove the tip of the dasheen bush, and of course I cut off the stalk. For the stalks, I will be using about 2/3 of the stalk because it was a relatively small bundle, so I'll be using, I already washed it and chopped off the bottom part. And we are going to break down all of the veggies and get to cooking. So let's go. So I'm starting off by chopping up my dasheen bush leaves. I grew up tying the bush into a knot before cooking it, but I prefer chopping it up because it's really faster and to me it doesn't really affect the flavor. So that's what I do. And then I move on to chopping up my stalks. Everything that we're chopping up, we're doing so kind of small because we want it to cook quickly and evenly. And then moving on to slicing up my okra. Again, make sure your okra is young so that it will be soft. Then my pumpkin, it wasn't as brightly colored as I would like, so that's why I'm adding a little bit more carrot, because the carrot gives it a really nice color as well. And I like my food with a lot of color. So then I'm gonna move on, once the carrot has broken down, to cutting up my pimentos. Pimento peppers add such an amazing flavor without the heat, so I just love adding a lot of pimentos to my callaloo. And I cut up my onions as well before I add my coconut milk to my pot, and then I start adding in my veggies. So we start off with the dasheen bush, then I add the stalks on top of that, the pumpkin and carrots, the okra. Then I add my aromatics, pimento, onion, garlic, and I add in a whole hot pepper that I'm gonna let cook down but not burst in the callaloo, so that it won't be too spicy but it will have a nice kick. The coconut milk is already simmering. You can see the smoke coming up from the side, so I'm gonna cover this with a lid and let it steam. Here you can see all the veggies have cooked down. Effectively, that bush cooks down really quickly, but the veggies aren't completely softened. So we're gonna let it cook for a little while longer because we want all of the veggies to be softened. Once the veggies are softened, just mixing it with the spoon begins breaking down everything. But I'm gonna go in further with my swizzle stick or dal gutni to ensure that we have a nice texture for the callaloo. Now some people blend their callaloo. I prefer my callaloo to be swizzled because I like it a little bit chunky. I'm gonna break down the veggies as much as possible, of course, as you can see me doing here with this swizzle stick, but I like my callaloo chunky, so that's the way I like to make it. And then I season it up with some salt, break it down a little further, and that's basically the full recipe. So as I pour some of this callaloo out, you can see all of those beautiful colors come together. The callaloo is nice and chunky, it's thick, it's absolutely delicious, and you can go ahead and serve this with your meats, your rice, your pies, what have yous. Alright guys, and there you have it. Have a Trini callaloo for your Sunday lunch, or if you want to enjoy it outside of Sunday, I don't judge, I do the same. Full of flavor, just amazing smell right now filling my kitchen. And of course, to find the full recipe or the detailed recipe, you can find it linked below. You can also find it on my website, terrysfoodtherapy.com. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more amazing food therapy videos. Like, share, all that good stuff. And until next time guys, bye.